Um, Shit. Hi, everyone, and welcome to TWF Monday Night Raw, or Alone Day Night Raw. I am Gorilla Monsoon, here with Trini Kwan and with Corey Graves. And today on Monday Night Raw, or Alone Day Night Raw, we're going to see a match we saw yesterday on Power, or Might. The ongoing thing that started between Belasca and Kevin Owens, Gorilla Monsoon said. That's right, Trini Kwan said. If you can recall, if you can think back, it was on King Spinks had both Kevin Owens and Belasca on his show, Trini Kwan said, and he was starting shit between the both of them. And somehow he ended up getting Kevin Owens and Belasca to hate on each other, Trini Kwan says. Well, I can tell you one thing, Corey Graves says. I don't think it took much for it. I think that Kevin Owens and Belasca never really truly liked each other. And at the end of the day, you could guilt someone only so much. Because at the end of the day, Kevin Owens, is a man unto himself. He's never had a good track reckoning with friends, either being Sami Zayn or Chris Jericho or Seth Rollins. Alright, Kevin Owens says, everyone wonders, do I like or do I hate Belasca? Well, let's just say I could never ever stand Belasca. Here is a strong woman, a Teutonic. Geez, I don't know what the English word for it would be. But anyway, who started offshooting from everything I was doing when I came to WWE and 25th between YL. Yeah, I was doing what some call a sit-up power bomb or whatever you want to call it. I was slamming folks back on the side of the ring. I was doing all that shit, both on Raw, on NXT, and later on when I came up, when I was on Raw and on SmackDown and on Raw and on SmackDown on Raw. Belasca was doing all the shit and offshooting from me. When I came to the TWF, this would be in 27 between YL, I knew that I wasn't going to get along with her. So I've played being her friend for years, just like I did to Sami Zayn and Chris Jericho and Seth Rollins. I played her the same way. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I beat her. I never did like Belasca. I never did like her. Is that true? Well, let me remind you, Kevin Owens, that I am the goddess of madness. That I was a man-like, or I was woman-like, until I got until I got my godhood, and I became the goddess of madness. And after that, you know what happened. And Kevin Owens, now you tell the truth that you were never my friend, and you're only playing me from 27 between YL to now. Yeah. Well, good for you, Kevin Owens, because you do that shit to everyone. You did it to Sami Zayn on and off for years. You did that to Chris Jericho. You did that to Seth Rollins. And you did that to me. But may I need to ask you, Kevin Owens, at the end of the day, did you really do that much? I mean, I did a lot more than you did. I was a former 2-time TWF heavyweight fighter. I won the TWF hard-made winnings many, many times. I was a TWF team fighter. Hell, I was a 2-time TWF Pennsylvania Right fighter when I started. Kevin Owens, yeah, you were a former TWF heavyweight fighter, a former TWF team fighter, a former CWF heavyweight fighter, whatever that meant. But you didn't do that much since being in WWE. Oh, yeah. You forget how I was the WWE NXT heavyweight fighter. I was the world heavyweight fighter. I was a four-time WWE Inderlando fighter, a two-time WWE Wanda Reichs fighter. So you say that I've done a lot. But I don't like you, Belasca. I never did. So you're going to have that return match or not? And I know that how that's going to work out. That we got to have Astronema come out because we can't go to her room and have it happen. Yeah. So let me see if I got this right. Belasca, you don't like Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, you don't like Belasca. Well, here's what I can do here today on Monday Night Raw or Alone Day Night Raw. I can make a match or a fight here between Belasca and Kevin Owens, Astronema says. I can do that. Yeah, you can, Ecliptor says. And I know Kevin Owens and you, Belasca, you would like to get your hands on each other. So what happened yesterday on Power or Might. What's going to happen here today, too, on Monday Night Raw or Alone Day Night Raw. I tell you one thing, Astronema says, you're not going to be happy about it. So, let's have the match. Belasca fight Kevin Owens, right here and now. Yeah, Ecliptor said, we'll go do that. We'll do the match now. Fuck. Ding ding ding. Oh, and Kevin Owens. Oh, just did that. You know, Cannon just did that cannon thunder gun ball thing to her and knocked her down. And now Gorilla Monsoon says he's going to do the sit-up power bomb. Or whatever you call it, Gorilla Monsoon says. I tell you one thing, Corey Graves says. I like Kevin Owens' stand. I like Kevin Owens' mindset. I think he's going steads. Oh, you think he's going steads, Trini Kwan said. That's truly sad. That you think he's going steads. With the mindset, the stand, he's not going anywhere. Oh! And right now, Belasca's getting beat up right now. Well, Corey Graves, that's enough of that, Trini Kwan said. Yeah, you would like the stand. You would like his stand, his mindset. But the way he is, he's kind of wrong. Oh, a stunner! So you're going to say Kevin Owens is wrong for how he behaves, for his mindset, for his stand, Corey Graves said. I think he's great. I think he should be onlooked. And on his shirt it says, fight anyone. Would you stop, Corey Graves, about saying Kevin Owens' mindset is great, that his stand is great, and you like what he does? That's just wrong, Gorilla Monsoon says. And now Kevin Owens now thinks he's going to get a win over Belasca here. 1, 2, and Belasca just kicked out and the Fight Lord just went down. Yeah, Klutz the Fight Lord went down again, Corey Graves says. Would you be earnest? Stop calling him Klutz the Fight Lord. Well, you know, he does, Gorilla Monsoon. He's falling down all the time, you know. And that's what Klutzes do. That's what Ditzes do. They fall down all the time, do dumb stuff. And Belasca did the cannonball. Did the fire thunder gun ball to him, Corey Graves says. But anyway, that's what Klutzes and Ditzes do, Gorilla Monsoon. They fall down, they fall over. You know, they're not good on their feet. I could call him Drunk the Fight Lord. Corey Graves says, would you be earnest? Would you stop He's not a klutz, and he's not drunk, Gorilla Monsoon said. It's wakefulness, Corey Graves is doing it. Gorilla Monsoon said, right now, blast a hip-hop power bomb. And a stunner. Belasca just gave Kevin Owens a stunner. Now, Trini Kwan said, we're going to see if Belasca can beat Kevin Owens on a Lone Day Night Raw. We'll see how that happens or not. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Belasca. Belasca has beat Kevin Owens here today on Monday Night Raw. Or a Lone Day Night Raw here. And that's not going to be good. There we go. But that's good. And now Belasca's now got that win over Kevin Owens here on Monday Night Raw, or a Lone Day Night Raw, Girl Monsoon says. Good for Belasca getting her win back on Kevin Owens. Good for putting Kevin Owens in his stead, Trini Kwan said. How can you be saying that, Gorilla Monsoon and Trini Kwan, saying it's good? Saying that Belasca put Kevin Owens in his stead? Belasca should be ashamed of herself. She's nothing more than a bully and a heel and a creep, Trini Kwan says. Yeah, and you are, and you know what, Girl Monsoon says? I tell you right now, Belasca is no heel, bully, or creep. Kevin Owens is a bully and heel and creep here. Yeah, Girl Monsoon said. I tell you right now, Trini Kwan said, the only bully or heel that we know of, as of right now, is Kevin Owens, not Belasca. Well, Renee Young now is now going to be talking with Kevin Owens now. Alright, I'm going to be talking here with Kevin Owens. Alright, Kevin Owens, things haven't quite gone the way you want them to go. You beat Belasca yesterday, but Belasca beat you today. Yeah, it might be true. Belasca beat me today, but big deal. I'll get my hands on Belasca. I'll beat her again. I can't stand Belasca. You know, she thinks she's so cool for beating me here on Monday Night Raw or Lone Day Night Raw. I don't care. Belasca, I'll beat you. You're nothing more than a Kevin Owens wannabe. Not an offshoot, but a knockoff. So you're saying she's not an offshoot of you, Kevin Owens, but a knockoff of you instead. Yeah, that's all she is. A knockoff. A wannabe. You know, a stead holder for me. When I came around. Because I wasn't in the TWF then. So she was offshooting from all my shit. So, I hope you're happy with the win you got, Belasca. Because you're not going to get any more from me. Well, that's my talk with Kevin Owens. Back to you, Gorilla Monsoon. Well, thank you, Renee Young, for talking with Kevin Owens here on Monday Night Raw or Lone Day Night Raw. It is all the time we got here for Monday Night Raw or Lone Day Night Raw. We hope you like Monday Night Raw or Lone Day Night Raw, and we'll see you tomorrow for NXT 2.0.